Greetings, petrolheads. Welcome back to Automation, the car company tycoon game. Today, I'm gonna be looking at the SL5 by Athena. Now, the idea behind this one was to make it similar to the CL5 in the available engine options. But we're gonna get to that a little bit later. This is a saloon, a four-door saloon that built on this body that you can see here, and well, this right here is basically the same thing as we always do. Again, the new front end design applies, and on the rear end we have rectangular taillights once again, with a little bit of a white insert here to make for reverse lights. I think it looks pretty decent from the rear three-quarter, and like really elegant, and just it really looks like a high quality and expensive car, in my opinion. Your opinion may vary, and obviously you're welcome to comment on that if you do disagree with me. So we have the 5-liter 250 horsepower Rodos V8 under the bonnet like we do in the CL550. It's literally the same engine, unchanged. 4-speed automatic here as well. Geared limited slip diff. Sports tires to make for the best possible grip. 235s on the rear. Vented discs all around. No under tray. More than enough cooling. 5 seats this time, because this car is big enough to seat 3 people in the back. Don't try to tell me that it's not. And then this does have ABS as well, now that we've put it on the van last episode. Hydro pneumatic springs, and then this setup is fairly standard. And this does like incredibly well in utility sport premium for whatever reason. And then family sport premium is exactly what the sort of market that this is aimed at. It doesn't do that well anymore, though, once we increase the price, because it's not affordable anymore. Utility sport premium, utility sport luxury, more like. And yeah, 7 seconds 0 to 100 is slower than the CL550. Then again, it also weighs quite a bit more. This is the heaviest car, the heaviest saloon, I think, ever since the SXL series has been, well, at the very least put on hold, if not abandoned completely. And yeah, it's just got a lot of weight to lug around. It's a huge car, and yeah, therefore it is heavier and less quick, just off the line, as far as acceleration goes. Now, the 6.5-liter V8 does fit, so there's your US model for it. Because this car is so large, it has a lot of weight over the rear end, which makes for a better weight distribution than on the CL5, and that's why this thing is more drivable than a CL. It is apparently also very aerodynamic, and therefore this will reach almost 300 kilometers an hour. It is kind of crazy. yeah, this drag coefficient is really low. And then it'll just keep going. It's not very fast on the top range there in the higher speeds, but then again, it doesn't really matter, because how many times are you really going to be taking this thing close to its top speed? There's 270. So yeah, this is again the 6.5 liter 375 horsepower crossplane V8 that you've seen in the CL565. The problem is that the Hercules V12 does not fit into this body, despite the fact that we have a seemingly like huge bonnet. But if you go down here, you see that actually this engine is already pretty close to where they put the intercooler. I don't know why they put it here instead of like there. That would have offered a lot more space, and the V12 would have easily fit. But the way it is, it doesn't. So we had to think of an alternative. Or I had to anyway. And I did it with this. The SL532T. Yes, it only has a 3.2 liter turbocharged engine. It's the Hecate 96. But it makes 330 horsepower. Now that is pretty much the highest amount I was comfortable with going for, without completely ruining this car's drivability. It has a decently flat torque curve, which would, you know, if I was to tune this car so that it would make 365 horsepower like the V12, or even 375 like the crossplane V8, then the turbos would probably only spool up at 3000 or afterwards. Or I would have to make the fuel mixture extremely rich, and like it would use an extraordinary amount of fuel. So with those concerns in mind, I think this is pretty much still a solid result for a 3.2 liter turbo on a road car in 1987. And of course, this being a turbo, the drivability suffered quite a bit. In fact, if we go here, minus 26% just from the engine alone. Therefore, the emissions are extremely low. Economy is better, of course, than on the V8. And acceleration is better. Yup, the quarter mile takes 14.4 seconds rather than 14.5 like on the V8. Obviously, after a quarter mile, the V8 just starts pulling away. But even then, this is still a really quick car, and not to be underestimated, despite the fact that this is only a 3.2 liter 6-cylinder. But that turbo really makes for some great numbers. The only one that isn't so great, of course, as I mentioned, is the drivability and, of course, the prestige. But apart from that, look at this. GT and GT Premium, it does really well. Also in Luxury Premium. Luxury Superior is called here. But, well, I don't know, like, why is there like a luxury category and then a superior luxury category? Luxury is already supposed to be like, well, completely over the top kind of stuff like Rolls-Royce and Bentley essentially is a luxury car, in my opinion. Because premium, then again, if you say like premium is like anywhere between like a BMW 3 Series and a BMW 5 Series or a Mercedes E-Class, where do you put like the S-Class? I mean, the S-Class would be luxury, of course. But where do you put the BMW 7 Series? It's not quite the same level of luxury as the Mercedes S-Class. But it isn't really the same as the 5 Series either, which would be premium. So therefore, yeah, okay, luxury premium is where the Bentley and the Rolls-Royce would go. And the Maybach, of course. And then luxury is S-Class, 7 Series, that sort of thing. And premium, maybe even a 5 Series is a luxury as well. An E-Class, I actually think would also be luxury. And then premium would be below that. Now that we figured out what this thing is supposed to be, GT Premium and GT is apparently where it does best. And it is pretty expensive. But then it is also very high tech for its time, because it produces ultra low emissions. It'll actually beat that V8 on a quarter mile, despite having half the displacement and being only a 6-cylinder. And it still makes like 330 horsepower. So from only a 3.2 liter 6-cylinder engine, like that is an achievement in itself in 1987, if we're keeping it realistic. Obviously, you could tune this engine so that it makes like, 500, 600 horsepower. But then it wouldn't be suitable for like a luxury cruiser like this is. So you get the idea. Yeah. Overall, this is, I think, the best compromise I could get as far as the engine goes. And yeah, let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Automation. Leave a like or a comment if you did. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.